Welcome to Pennsylvania in Focus. I'm Kristen Smith, Pennsylvania editor for the Center Square, and joining me today is the Center Square's Pennsylvania reporter, Anthony Hennon. Big news this week for the statewide 911 system. It appears that lawmakers have found a way to increase funding for the system, which Anthony has reported on all year as just falling apart. So, Anthony, update us on what they decided to do.
Yeah, so this has been an ongoing conversation since Governor Josh Shapiro proposed his budget last March or so. Basically, Pennsylvania funds its 911 services through a cell phone surcharge, and that's currently $1.65, and that was set to expire at the end of January 2024. So Shapiro had proposed raising it to about from $1.65 to $2.03, and then pegging it to inflation thereafter. That's not happening, but they did work out something in a new law, Act 34, that was passed Wednesday night. At the end of next February, that will increase from $1.65 up to $1.95. And that will be in place until the end of January 2026. So last fiscal year, we were looking at $331 million collected through the surcharge. And the lost fiscal note is estimating that the next full fiscal year with which this operates, they'll be bringing about $392 million. So about an increase of $60 million or so to fund 911 services across the Commonwealth.
So this isn't necessarily the end-all be-all fix to this, right?
That is correct. Basically, along with the surcharge, they'll also be doing what they're calling an efficiency study on 911 services, to basically comparing how other states are running their services and funding them, consider maybe combining these services with other lines like the state's 998 suicide lifeline, crisis lifeline, and there may also, the study will look at whether employees could work from home rather than having to come into a dispatch center. But this has been a long-running issue, like a lot of funding things and staffing issues for emergency services and first responders across Pennsylvania. A report from the Legislative Budget and Finance Committee earlier this year noted that many call centers had vacancy rates that go beyond 20%. So this is still a live issue, but this is at least some sort of increase that can be used to fill some gaps, if not all.
So this wasn't the only proposal out there. You wrote about how the county commissioners had thought that we needed a bigger surcharge, right?
Yeah, so this had been a request from the County Commissioner Association of Pennsylvania to raise it even more and peg. Basically, it would bring an annual 15-cent increase along with a higher overall number. That is not happening, it seems. I think the bigger problem here is if people don't like adding a surcharge to cell phones to fund 911 services, the money would have to come from somewhere. And the most likely source of that would be county property taxes, which, Pennsylvania, property taxes are never a controversial issue. But there's no easy way to solve this or to find some extra money for this. Pennsylvania, again, is a state where we've had some slow economic growth. We've seen some stagnating to declining population issues. So, it's something that's going to be recurring and something that will be an issue until we have some sort of long-term legislative fix.
Keep up with this story and more at thecentersquare.com. For Anthony Hennon, I'm Kristen Smith. Please subscribe and thanks for listening.
Are you tired of news that puts politics over people? At the nonprofit Franklin News Foundation, we believe in putting people over politics by delivering nonpartisan news and audio content that serves you, the American taxpayer. With Franklin News Foundation, you can read fact-based, state-focused news for free at thecentersquare.com. You can listen to civil, balanced conversations between policy experts through our podcast network at americastalking.com. Or you can get in-depth news on K-12 education spending, curriculum, and school safety at chalkboardnews.com. It's all free through Franklin, where we put you, the American taxpayer, first in every story, episode, and conversation. And it's only possible through our supporters. Together, we can produce content that puts people over politics and brings Americans the news they deserve. Become a supporter today at franklinnews.org/donate. Once again, that's franklinnews.org/donate.